But first, it's time for two dessert chefs to square up in today's final kitchen showdown.
It's Adam Simmonds serving dark chocolate ganache, pearl barley ice cream and hazelnut milk skin versus Jonathan Taylor and his warm sea salt and lavender dark chocolate brownie, coffee jelly and malt cream.
Well, they sound delicious on paper, but can the chefs do them justice? Adam, Jonathan, good luck to you both. Start cooking.
My name's Adam Simmonds. I'm executive chef of Danesford House. It's a country house hotel, very grand. The restaurant itself is perceived as quite a formal restaurant. It's not formal. The food is vastly different from what people expect. Academically, I couldn't sit behind a desk. It didn't interest me. So, you know, I found home economics at school. At that time, there was only 2 boys in the class. So you think, well, maybe this is all right. When you're younger and you take your first head chef's job, you're quite gung-ho. You put 110 different things on a plate, when now it's better to have less. But you only develop that as you get older, I think, and you become more mature. Am I now quite mature? Probably not as mature as I should be.
Well, no doubt they have practiced these dishes in their restaurants, but they've never cooked them under these exacting conditions, of course, which is going to be an extra challenge. But that's not going to bother you, is it, Adam?
No, not at all.
How are you feeling about being here today, then?
Yeah, good.
You've been working for years, Manuel Catzazon and Les Saveurs in London and so on, some of the great establishments.
Very good.
It must be a long time, though, since you've actually had to do the lot with no minions beneath you and kind of take it on the chin if it doesn't work out.
Well, it's only me to blame if it don't work.
So tell me about this dish, then.
We got dark chocolate ganache with pearl barley ice cream, hazelnut milk skin and hazelnut cake. So the pearl barley ice cream is more like a malt. You toast the pearl barley till really dark, infuse that with the milk and cream and leave that for 24 hours.
What could possibly go wrong?
No, there's so much that could go wrong.
Really, such as? Go on.
The milk skin, if the milk skin boils, if the ganache doesn't set, if the ice cream doesn't set, there's a lot of variables that could go wrong, but hopefully not today.
Hopefully not. All right, David Goliath thing.
Absolutely.
Tactics.
I don't know, he's good, isn't he? He's really good.
So we're here, but will he be good on the day? That's the question.
Absolutely.
Enjoy.
Good luck.
Michelin-starred chef Adam might feel calm under the studio lights, but will his pearl barley ice cream dessert be ready for its close-up at the end of the timeline? He starts by combining his ingredients.
For me, it's almost like you can taste it in your head when you come up with pearl barley, chocolate. There's a combination there that you think, well, actually, that could work. It could go terribly wrong, trust me. If the ice cream doesn't set, if the ganache is not right, the cake could be overcooked. You know, there's many different elements, but it's about the pressure to make it right. You've got different contrasts of flavours, textures, depths of flavours, and I think it's just a fantastic dish for the autumn.
Adam gets to work transforming the infusion of pearl barley with cream and milk into an ice cream. He mixes all the ingredients together before putting them in an ice cream machine.
Do you know what? I think this is a fantastic idea, because pearl barley in this way will taste very nutty. It'll almost be like having porridge. It'll be absolutely delicious.
Adam's using a whopping 350 grams of hazelnuts alone for the skin, an amount that has got Jilly concerned.
He's got so many... Look at this, so many hazelnuts. He thinks he's going to do a whole restaurant full. There's only the 3 of us, one dish.
He's taken a load of hazelnuts, he's put them in the oven, he's toasted them, he's got his milk, he's bringing his milk to the boil and he's infusing the hazelnuts into the milk to make this thing called a hazelnut skin. It sounds really unpleasant.
Is it actually going to be a skin?
It's a sort of extract.
So not all the judges are convinced about the hazelnut skin, but the next stage of Adam's dessert has got their mouths watering.
Look at that hazelnut chocolate cake. Looks lovely, doesn't it?
Yeah, really lovely.
Looks delicious.
Does look absolutely gorgeous. We're not going to go hungry after all. He's just looking completely in control. He's just sashaying through this afternoon's proceedings.
The next step involves the hazelnut cake that Adam prepared earlier, and there's a shock in store for the judges.
I'm a bit perplexed here because Adam had a beautiful-looking cake in a lovely sort of loaf tin. Looked absolutely perfect, and he smashed it up and grilled it. That's not what I expected.
He wanted to dry it, didn't he, to make crumbs now.
He then returns to the hazelnut skin. It's going to be a struggle to win over the unenthusiastic judges.
Looking at this skin, I can tell you it's really off-putting. It looks like that clag you get on top of a custard.
But if you have rice pudding and it forms a skin from the milk, the lactic acid will cause a film over the top. And sometimes that caramelises in the oven. Don't you like that flavour?
Absolutely loathe the texture. Can't bear
Oh, you're
it.
not going to like that, then?
But will Jilly have to eat her words as well as the skin when it comes to the tasting?
A ganache going on. That's just been invented, conjured up on the spot. It wasn't part of the plan. He's really going for it, I think.
But he doesn't stop there with improvising extra elements.
And he's made hazelnut nougatine. I think Jonathan has just spotted his opponent and said, oh, my God, what I've got isn't going to be enough. So now I'm going to add a load of new elements that aren't on the recipe sheet to see if we can impress the judges.
Returning to his original recipe, Jonathan combines a powdered malt drink, sugar and double cream to create a malted cream.
That flavour with chocolate works really well, doesn't it? That malted flavour going with the chocolate brownie really works.
So long as it's not too sweet.
Next, he makes a start on the coffee jelly by pouring a mixture of coffee, water, gelatin and sugar into little cups. Well, it's not long before he starts freestyling again. He adds yet another bonus element to his dish, bringing the total up to 3.
What's going to happen with this caramel that Jonathan's dipped his hazelnut into is it's going to make a little tail.
These are all garnishes, really, to try and make the dish look a bit more sexy on the plate. Never, ever have I had a coffee jelly in my life. And that texture of jelly with coffee flavour is going to be something quite new.
His high-risk strategy of adding 3 untried components to his recipe seems to have impressed at least one of the judges.
I tell you what has happened, though, is that Jonathan, who I thought was really on the back foot here, I think has done a fantastic job.
Well, I'll reserve my judgment until I've tasted the food.
Coming up, one of the desserts has made a real impression on Ed.
We've seen a few of these throughout the course of the series, and this is, I think, the best one yet.
While the other has caught John's eye, but for different reasons.
It looks like you made all those components really beautifully, then you fell over.
You look very relaxed.
I am now.
Now, look, I need to ask about a couple of things.
Go on.
OK? This milk skin business.
Yeah.
Some people like it, some people don't like it so much.
It is what it is. It's milk skin flavoured with hazelnut, so...
And the other thing is the pearl barley.
Yeah.
Which is, again, it's something that you might like or you might not like. So it's all kind of quite risky, isn't it, Adam?
Yeah, but it's good to have to take risks every now and then, you know. Hopefully the judges will find it interesting. That's what it's about.
Anyway, we shall see.
Adam has stuck to his technically demanding recipe, but the deconstructed presentation and unusual hazelnut milk skin might not be to everyone's taste. Whereas Jonathan has gone out on a limb by freestyling 3 completely untried extra elements into his dish. So will off-the-cuff creativity win out, or will pre-planning and precision be rewarded?
OK, judges, the last 2 plates of the day, they are yours for the tasting. And start with Adam's hazelnut and chocolate dessert. Jilly, would you like to start?
Adam, I have to say it's very delicate. I was trying frantically to get hold of your hazelnut skin, but of course it's so elusive. It's just a little sort of gossamer. Your ice cream was a new one on me, this pearl barley ice cream. Yeah. Very fresh.
John, what did you think?
I've never had the combination of pearl barley as a milk ice like this with chocolate, but it really certainly works. And I love the fact that it tastes a little bit like a clean, cold porridge in some way. The whole dish together really works for me. I have to say, Adam, I hate skin on rice puddings. Yeah. So that hazelnut skinning stuff doesn't work for me at all.
OK, fair enough.
OK. Ed?
There's a real trend at the moment, obviously, of deconstruction. I watched you pulling apart some really lovely things, actually, like the cake. And it came out, we're like, oh, look at the cake. And then we've got a few crumbs. And it's very much a fashion thing at the moment. I would love to see this as a reconstructed dessert, because all the components on there, every element of it, is very well thought out, and the flavours do work together beautifully.
So, Adam, more cake, please.
No problem, thank you very much.
OK. Right, now let's move on to Jonathan's, well, wonderful things on a plate. OK, Ed, will you start us this time, please?
Yeah, I will start it. It's a nice cake. I think it needs to be a little bit softer in the centre. The ganache there is lovely. I think absolutely beautiful. We've seen a few of these throughout the course of the series, and this is, I think, the best one yet. Consistency, the texture, the feel of it, very velvety. Big question mark over the coffee jelly beforehand, and I don't like it on there. I think you could do something far more exciting with coffee on this dessert.
Gilly, what did you think?
I was rooting for you because you were really, really going for it, actually, and using your inventive powers when you had a little downtime to give us more and more and more on the plate. Your jelly at the end was a big surprise, a really big surprise. I love strong coffee. There's nobody in the world who loves it more. But I couldn't quite deal with it in this form because it was kind of so at odds with the sweetness of your lovely chocolatey element, so I'd have liked that to be downplayed.
John?
The ganache has a beautiful consistency. It's really delicious. It's beautifully glazed. It's not been overheated. I find the whole thing a little bit too salty for my palate. You've thought it through, though. You've got the dryness of the cake and then this richness and this bitterness from the coffee, and it almost makes it... It's just that there's such a huge contrast between the coffee jelly, the ganache and the cake that somehow this stands up on its own as not being a very pleasant item on the plate. Lavender, great bar of soap, but I don't like it in chocolate.
What a relief that's over. I'm very happy with the comments. I think everything on the plate was as I wanted it to be. I think I have the edge over Jonathan slightly on the comments from the judges, but on the whole, it's still all to play for.
So who will be joining Andres on Friday, then? Here's a quick reminder of the dilemma facing our judges with today's desserts. Now, for Adam and Jonathan, it is their last chance to influence the judges. Adam, have you got anything that you would like to say to them?
I take on board about the cake, and it's something, if I get through, then I'll look at it, for sure. So.
OK. Ed, you first.
I'll start with you, Jonathan. The high point for me was the ganache. As I said, you know, lots of chefs have come into the competition, made ganaches. That was the best one we've had yet. Adam, with your pudding, it's the fashion at the moment of dismantling everything. So I always feel a bit disappointed. You know, like, where's it gone? The magnificent cake that came out of the oven ended up being the crumbs. Flavours were there, though. Wow. Adam, you get my vote.
Thank you.
One to you. John, your vote next, please.
Right, I'm still trying to get my head round your presentation because it looks like you made all those components really beautifully, then you fell over and it fell on the plate. And so that element I didn't like at all. Jonathan, you surprised me. I saw your recipe, you know. I thought, oh, right, there we go. There's not much going on here. And you added to that as you went along. And I love that inventiveness and you trying to notch your dish up a bit. But the main item was the brownie thing. And the brownie thing was a little bit too simple for a competition of this standard, as far as I'm concerned. So, Adam, you've got my vote.
I'm shocked at that.
2-0. 2-0. So we know you've won it. But let's hear what Gilly would say anyway. Gilly.
You had a great plate of food there, actually, I think, Jonathan. I can't give you my vote because I thought it was ruined by the lavender and that jelly, and I'm really sorry. Sure. Whereas you, Adam, get my vote.
Thank you very much.
Clean sweep.
Thank you.
Jonathan, thank you so much for coming on Best Dish.
Thank you.
And Adam, you are through to our Friday regional final.
Thank you very much.
Go and join Andres.
Thank you.
Thank you. So just 2 more places are up for grabs then in Friday's regional final. Join us again tomorrow when 4 more chefs will be slugging it out to prove that they have Britain's best dish.